Hi, I'm Rick Titus, host of Drivers Talk Radio. Well, guess what? I just spent the last 3 days testing, though some would say abusing, the two packages you see behind me, the new Crown Victoria and the Chevrolet Impala. The mission statement was find out which is the better tool. And to that end, we abused them. We went after braking, we went after acceleration, we went after handling. Again, a 5-star safety rating. I know it doesn't always sound important, but in a critical moment, that's going to matter to you. 3 different police prep packages available, so again, you can tune this vehicle specific to your agency's needs. Even subtle details like power distribution, so again, you can set it up specific to how you need it, and subtle refinements like adjustable pedals to make the vehicle more comfortable, and details like the largest interior and the largest trunk available in the entire segment, and even continued refinements and details like the way they contour the backs of the seats, so you can get in with that Sam Brown on. Get in quick, get out quick, and be comfortable while you're there. And of course, our testing starts with braking, because that's a key topic, and we're going to come after it aggressively. So let's go under the skin. I do want to jump right into braking because it's a key issue with the Crown Victoria and a major gain. I'll start by quoting the Michigan State Police test procedures. Beyond that, we wanted to do our own testing, and we addressed that more, if you will, to replicate a real pursuit. Yeah, it's great to set up a test where you gain 70 miles an hour, stop, and measure the distance. But you and I both know in the real world, you get to do that a whole bunch of times. There's 2 forms of brake tests, 70 miles an hour to 0 and measure the distance. It's pertinent. Good stuff. But the one I prefer is the durability, 70 to 0 10 times. What we're looking for is fade. You know the feeling. You hustle in after a couple of 3 hard stops, you press on the pedal for all you're worth, and she's not slowing down. Not true anymore in the Crown Vic. Why the gains? Well, they've made a change in the rotor design. They're venting them better. The swept area has changed, and they've changed the pad material. All of this adds up to much better stopping performance. And remember, the Crown Vic comes standard with ABS. So, good stuff overall. While I'm out at the wheel ends and talking about brakes, I might as well go to the other key component to the overall handling of the vehicle, and that, of course, is tires. It also proved to be a key point in terms of the overall comparison against a Chevrolet. Case in point, both come with Goodyears. Turns out P225 6016s, yeah, that's fine. It's the RSA that starts to be an issue, and beyond that, it's the Plus. See, the Crown Vic's the only one in all the police packages offered that comes with the Plus, and the Plus is important not only in how the tire feels, but how it ventilates in the rain and how long it lasts. This is a neat tire that's V-rated to 149 miles an hour. The closest competitor is an H-rated tire. I thought this was an important component to add to a vehicle designed to handle well. Okay, engines. Oh, well, this doesn't try not to be much of a comparison. Ford has the only V8 in the entire segment. It's up against V6s. You've got the 4.6-liter V8. This motor just, I love this engine. It's durable, it's responsive, it's got good grunt. There's throttle response right there the second you go for it. And guess what? It doesn't spend every day of its life working itself to death. This thing can lope around town real easily, and when you got to go to war switches, boom. Acceleration tests, it doesn't get less fancy. It's a 0 to 70 flat out. That's where V8s are lovely stuff. You reach in, you've got motor, and you got it now. Good stuff. Other key issues, well, of course, that would be the frame. I want to get into the frame a bit because it's been changed on the Crown Victoria. Oh, and in terms of comparison, turns out it's the only one that actually comes on a frame. You know that frame strengths can be your friends in a number of key areas. Crash, that's why it's got the 5-star rating, this nice hydroform strong frame rail. But beyond that, it's why it handles better. It's why it's got the ground clearance it's got. They paid attention to that. They know you got to work these things, and that doesn't always include staying on nice, smooth pavement. So they wanted a strong frame for you. They've also added a cast aluminum cross member, chasing weight, but keeping strength. You'll see that here. And of course, you see suspension changes as well. A new geometry and a new cast aluminum lower control arm. That leads me to the new rack and pinion steering changes as well. I'm really fond of the steering linearity, feel, and control. And I'm not silly. I know you don't always get to drive at 9 and 3. There's a microphone in this hand, a million other tasks going on. You need a car that's calm and linear, and that's what I think this slalom test really shows you. I really like using the slalom as a baseline test. It's like a lie detector for chassis. You've got to count on this tool going everywhere you aim it. It's got to change directions rapidly and confidently. The Ford product is firmly underneath you, a tool you can count on. The initial point in's pretty good. It requires more driver attention on the second half. Some re-aims. Again, this is a tool you've got to count on. I'd rather it was more sure-footed, more linear in its aim. I prefer the Ford. Big gains. Of course, they've got a big, large sway bar, anti-roll bar in the front. There's a couple of real quick things I want to remind you of. Standard power steering cooler, standard transmission cooler, a drive shaft. Well, I'd tell you there was a comparison story there, but turns out this is the only vehicle that's actually rear-wheel drive in the police packages also. I love these rear-wheel drive platforms. And in the rear, to continue to improve the handling, they've now gone to a Watts-Link rear suspension design. I won't bore you with the geometry. The basic issue is control the placement of the rear end and the aim of the rear wheels. With that stabilizer bar and with that new Watts-Link, this thing really does handle well. Where does that show up? In the evasive lane change. Let's load everything up. Let's see in a real-world situation when you've got to change direction now, and now, will it stay underneath of you? The evasive lane change, it's real world, it's hard on the vehicle, hard on the tires, and hard on the drivers. What you're looking for here is sudden, almost violent changes of direction. You're in a tight situation, you've got to leave one lane, pop into another one quickly, yet maintain enough composure to get it back into the original lane. The car's got to be underneath you now, or you don't got it done. I look for flat, I look for composure, I look for controllability. One of the most overused terms in business is new addition. But as you look at the refinements gained here, a stronger frame, a new front suspension, an improved rack and pinion steering, an improved high-performance tire, more performance from the engine, bigger brake capability and durability, you can see the gains start to really polish the jewel. The value story is in the durability and strength. From your standpoint, the gains are in handling, stability, and the ability to stay in there to finish the job. New Crown Vic has come a long way. It might look the same, but this puppy is not the same old story. Let's take a minute and look inside the Interceptor and see a few of the features that will make your vehicle safer and more efficient. First of all, let me remind you again that the Crown Vic Police Interceptor has the largest interior compartment of any of the vehicles in this segment. The seats are standard front bucket with power lumbar driver's seat, contoured for comfort, and manual recline. Two-way locking head restraints, and of course an anti-stab plate. The personal safety system, standard on all Interceptors, includes safety belt pretensioners, front dual-stage airbags, providing more safety and comfort for both the driver and passenger. There's also an easy access fuse panel, and new for 2003 is a new power distribution box, providing 10 fuse locations to power aftermarket equipment and signal connections. The police prep package includes console mounting platform, a padded armrest, and a hidden manual door lock plunger, trunk air circulation fan, permanent rubber tie-down straps for securing the trunk, dual-stage storage boxes, and rear trunk communication service tray. The visibility package includes the visibility switch panel, strobe power supply, 2 flashing rear deck LED lights, and a lighting relay center. Well, as I said right up front, the testing oftentimes got brutal. But that was my job, find out which of these were the better tool. I also think the testing was conclusive, and the new Crown Vic is clearly the winner in that category. Ford Motor Company did want me to add, however, that they're committed to this product and to this market. They'll continue to refine this vehicle specific to your needs. To that, I would only add, please be safe.